And it's his first sexual
Whoa. Don't spoil it.
Oh.
Mommamoo's a mom who cares, hasn't seen Friends since it first aired. Amandamoo's affair, no doubt, seen it more than she could count. We're so happy you're here too, as we rewatch Friends and we say moo. 2moopoints.
Hi, friends.
Hi, friends. We're back here for the 4th episode of 2moopoints. Mommamoo, Amandamoo. And we're talking about episode number 4 of season 1. It's called the one with George Stephanopoulos, even though George Stephanopoulos does not make an appearance. It was written by Alexa Junge, and that's so cool because it's a female author, or writer, and it's her by herself. I think the rest have been two writers. Yeah. And then the director is still James Burrows, but this is his final for right now. Someone else will be directing the next episode.
Really?
It originally aired October 13th, 1994. In the news, NASA the day before lost radio contact with the Magellan spacecraft as the probe descended into the thick atmosphere of Venus, and it they assume melted into the atmosphere, whatever.
Really?
But that was the plan. It was the probe. They were doing studies.
So it did what it was supposed to.
It did what it was supposed to do. And then also Steven Spielberg, Jeffrey Katzenberg, and David Geffen found or created DreamWorks Animation.
Wow.
Which is so cool. And that was also the day before. I also have something the day after, but I don't really, it's all history, political stuff. I don't know if it's important.
How many people watched it?
19.7 million, which is a little bit more than last week, but still really, really good for
really good. Yeah,
first
for
season.
A new series.
Not bad. Okay, there were 2 main storylines. The episode was basically divided between the men storyline and the women's storyline. It's October 20th, the anniversary of Ross's first sexual experience with Carol. A depressed and distracted Ross joins Joey and Chandler for a hockey game. Injuries may occur and more firsts may be revealed. Rachel's reunion with some friends from her previous life lead her to question what she's doing with her life. But can a girls' slumber party / George Stephanopoulos cheer her up?
By all means.
Yay! So that's the episode basic overview. Let's get into our new points. I just first want to say that this is one of my favorite episodes. And it has been for a while. I just feel like it is.
It was really good.
A quintessential, great episode. And we start off with the cold open, which I like to call the omnipotent cold open, which is just the best. It's that central perk. I looked up the definition of omnipotent because first few times I watched the show, I had no idea what I kind of assumed, but it's an almighty or infinite, someone who is almighty or infinite in power. All powerful. So Phoebe gives her answer for what she would do if she was omnipotent. She would want world peace, no more hunger, good things for the rainforest. Oh, and bigger boobs. And then Ross is like, well, you stole my answer.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Joey walks in and they ask him and he says, well, I'd probably kill myself.
Oh, because he thought
it meant impotent.
Impotent, yeah.
And then Ross clarifies and goes, Joey, omnipotent. And he goes, you are? Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't know. But we also thought that Rachel's apron was very cute. I agree.
So cute.
Very cute. She has best aprons, just the best, waitress outfits.
And she's so darn cute.
Did you have anything for that? You laughed really hard at the bigger boobs.
That was so funny, especially when Ross you took mine.
It's so Phoebe, though, to say that, too.
I know.
And so Ross.
Along with world peace. And
I know,
all
these wonderful things for the world. Oh, and I love bigger boobs.
But Joey was hilarious saying,
oh my God. And it's such
I would kill myself.
And that's like a true Joey, though.
I know. Because that's so important.
Oh my gosh.
In Joey's world.
Oh, in Joey's world, he would, how could he survive?
Was Chandler there?
Yeah, Chandler wanted to be omnipotent forever or something like that.
Oh, that's right.
It was like...
if a genie gives you 3 wishes, you ask for 3 more.
Yeah. Okay, then we have the title sequence. Same. Nothing changes in the title sequence. Then we start the body of the show. We have our first scene at Central Perk. Phoebe is asleep on the couch, and Ross and Monica are staring at her like, how could you be asleep, or whatever. And that's just one of those things that I wish I could do.
I know.
Wouldn't it be nice to be able to fall asleep on an airplane? Just like
It'd be nice to be more like Phoebe.
more relaxed, more like Phoebe. Seriously, Phoebe's the dream. Courtney Cox or Monica has a line about the Grand Canyon. She's talking to Ross, and in the bloopers, she could not get through that line.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not even that hard of a line, but she just couldn't. It just wasn't working. She just couldn't get it. You were disgusted, Mom, by once Phoebe does wake up. She explains why she's so tired, and it's because her grandma has a new boyfriend.
Oh my god.
And Phoebe's living with her grandma, and they're both like
hard of
hearing,
so
and they're having sex, and they're both like trying to reassure each other. I forget what. Yeah, like I'm having a good time. Yeah, it's okay. You were disgusted. You were like, oh my god.
Phoebe has the stories, doesn't she?
Then Chandler and Joey walk in. Joey is counting steps, and he goes 97. See, we're less than 100 steps from the coffee shop, which I think is interesting because it's one of those things. Where do you think the coffee shop? Where is Central Perk compared to their apartments?
Close.
Okay, because I think
It's like a neighborhood coffee shop.
that's what I always thought. Like I always thought it was on the same street, like
Yeah.
on the same block probably. But I think that it's also. I think some people may believe that it's underneath their building.
Oh.
Just because the shot of the building, it almost looks like
Could
there's
be.
a coffee shop. But
And
I
you
don't.
figure just coming down a couple of flight of stairs is
But
going to be
at
a
this
few
point,
steps.
in the future episodes, they're on like the 20. Their apartment number is like 20. You know, because they're on like at least the second floor.
Yeah.
But at this point, their numbers of their apartments, I think, is 4 and 5.
Oh.
So they're basically on the first floor. You would assume.
Not 4th or 5th floor?
No, their apartment numbers.
Oh, I see.
4 and 5, I think. And so it's like, if that's one flight of stairs, that's like 20 steps? I don't know.
Each one. Yeah, one flight. Yeah.
So
it's probably down the street.
that's what I assume, too. And then...
Rachel gets her first paycheck.
But FICA's taken all her money. So not worth it, she says.
And everybody looks at her paycheck and goes, oh, that's not bad, that's not bad. And then they throw money on the
tip
table
her.
like, here's your tip. You need it more than...
Which is so worrisome that all these grown adults are like, oh no, you're not going to survive. So FICA stands for Federal Insurance Contributions Act.
Yeah.
They are, they're taxes that are deducted from the pay of most American workers to support Social Security programs. And it's just the way it works.
Yes.
But poor Rachel didn't know that. Then in walks 3 of Rachel's friends from what I like to call her previous life. We got Joanne or Joni. Doesn't she say Joni? Joanne, Leslie, and Kiki. They walk in, and the guys are leaving to go see a hockey game. And the guys gawk at them. Why are they gawking? Because they're like rich women with a bunch of shopping bags.
Yeah.
You thought that one of them might be Carol.
Oh, I did because of the curly hair.
Yeah.
But it was...
It's not. No. And then the guys leave. Hockey, they say. So of Rachel's friends, one is pregnant, one is engaged or newly engaged, and one has just been made partner at their father's firm. Being partner is like, I had to look it up because I've heard it's in a law firm. It just means that you're a part, instead of like a paid salary, you're part of.
Yeah.
You kind of are a part owner.
Isn't one
law
skinny?
firm.
I have one one is skinny.
Yes, so there's a bulimic type joke.
Right, because, yeah.
But that was cut from the original airing.
Oh, yeah, because it's really not too funny.
It's not that funny, yeah. She's like, you look so great! And then one of the girls behind her is like, no. Yeah, but anyways, what's funny though is that the one who is engaged, so it'd be this finger, she like goes like that, like, and I've got, or I don't know, she does some, I don't know what she does, like that. And for the first few times that I saw the show, I remember thinking it was a nose job, and I was like, oh yay, nose job. Like, I love how she's like, woo, look at my new nose. It's the engagement ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is kind of something that's not so obvious. You questioned, you said, what's that, a nose job?
I know, because I could see her, like...
Yeah, and they're all, like, screaming and stuff, and then Phoebe and Monica in the background go, oh, I have elbows! Ah!
Oh, that's right. Elbows are beautiful, or something silly.
And then the next scene is on the street while the boys are walking towards their game, and Ross is just getting distracted by every little thing, reminding him of his first night, his first consummation. Did we even mention that? Basically, it's the anniversary of his first sexual experience with Carol.
And it's his first sexual
Whoa. Don't spoil it.
Oh.
It's not been revealed yet. At this point, we just are like, oh my god, he's obsessed with this anniversary and this memory.
Which is 35 years ago.
Yeah, I'm not there yet. We're not there yet. Calm your horses. He sees boots in the windows, and he's like, she actually that night didn't take them off, and you said, ew. Don't judge people in their activity in bed.
Hopefully they were flexible boots and not stiff cowboy ones.
Or, yeah, and it would get sweaty. It's bad. No. And then Ross sees a peach pit on the floor, and he goes, peach pit. And then Chandler goes, yes, honey. So good.
Yeah, good writing.
And yeah, it just continues the scene the same way, basically. We go back to Central Perk, and Rachel's talking with her friends, and she's like, no, this is it. This is what I'm doing now. And she's like, I do my own laundry, which is ridiculous because in the next episode we find out that she's never done her laundry before. Yeah.
It's interesting though. This is a look into her past life, and then the two girls for her future life. And I mean, she fits so much better in once she gets the hang of things.
You can see how she gets along,
where she came from, and
how she got along with them, and how excited she was about every little thing.
Yeah, but they were shaming her.
Well, they just didn't understand it.
I know.
Which
it
just doesn't make sense. Yeah, like why would you be excited about these things? Being a waitress. And she's like, I'm not just a waitress. I write the specials on the specials board. When me and my dad went to the Warner Brothers studio tour, they have like a room set up that looks just like Central Perk. And I specifically remember taking pictures of the specials board because I remember that Rachel had said that she did that.
That was her job.
That beautiful job. So the next scene, we go to Monica's apartment, and like you said, we see the other side of her friendship, her new life, sort of.
Yeah.
And basically the rest of the episode, we're bouncing between the guy's storyline and the girl's storyline. And so the girls, Monica and Phoebe, are getting excited because they're going to have a slumber party that night because Phoebe doesn't want to sleep at her place, at her grandma's house.
Yeah.
Or apartment. And they have Tiki Death Punch drink.
That's right, they with rum.
Basically just rum. We were supposed to bring a bottle of rum.
Darn.
Just to commemorate. But I looked up recipes and just to see if it was an actual drink, and I mean it's just people making up their own version of what it would be like. Lots of rum, basically. They also have cookie dough. I wish we had got cookie dough. Trashy magazines. Wish I had got trashy magazines to look up with my mama. And they have Twister, and Phoebe brought Operation, but unfortunately she lost the tweezers.
Oh, that's so funny.
One of the best bloopers ever from the Friends bloopers. Phoebe is holding Operation box, and she's like, oh, but I lost the tweezers, and then it makes the buzzing noise.
Oh, that's perfect.
So funny.
But what does she say?
I lost the tweezers, but we can prep him. We can prep the guy.
Prep him for surgery.
Yeah. They get a phone call, and it's the credit card people checking in on Rachel for unusual activity.
I know. What's going on?
Because they do that. Credit card people, they really care about their customers. They don't do that, right?
Well, you heard about the woman that orders from UPS and from Amazon just about every day, and the UPS guy came to her house, knocked on the door, and said, "You haven't had a delivery for 2 days. Are you okay? What's wrong? What's going on?"
That's an actual thing.
Yeah. That's like them calling.
But that's a person-to-person interaction. Yeah. Where this is a credit card company.
I know, but it's funny.
Faceless or whatever it is. We then go to the hockey game. The guys are finding their seats, and Ross says, "Oh no!" And then the guys are like, "What? There was ice that night?" And he said, "No, we're not sitting in the same seats." And then he goes, "But there was ice.
Oh,
it was the first frost."
Everything.
He's so funny. The way he says it, though, it's so dreamy and just like, I don't know. Fun fact, the hockey game is supposed to be between New York Rangers versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. But that year, October 1994, there was no hockey games because there was a lockout at the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoops.
I don't know what that... No, I mean, it's not a real world. It's not real. Okay, Monica's apartment. We go back, and the girls are still talking to Rachel and trying to be like, no, it's a good thing that you got out of your... that you know... whatever, you walked out on the relationship and you're here, you're I don't know. I don't know.
Convince her that it's all good.
Yeah, and then Rachel says, I gave up like everything, and for what? And I love that because like we know, like because we've watched the show, we know what it's all for.
Yeah.
And like by the end of the episode, you kind of feel like she understands it too. Like it's all totally worth it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Rachel hadn't, like, she probably never would have hung out with Monica ever again.
Oh, I know, because they hadn't seen each other
school
in years.
reunion or something, but like, it's all worth it. And then Phoebe correlates, I don't know, the Jack and the Beans, like she's like Jack and the Beanstalk.
Oh gosh, that was funny.
And it's like, I didn't give up a cow, I gave up an orthodontist. And
magic beans.
Yeah, for magic beans. And like the beanstalk, it's full of opportunities. Like that's what you gave up for, everything for. And Phoebe also says that you he lives in a village and you live in the village.
Oh yeah.
So do you know that the village, I've heard of the village in New York, but I didn't know
it's like Soho.
It's
different.
Greenwich Village.
Greenwich.
Greenwich. But it's spelled Greenwich. Like Greenwich. Greenwich
But
Village.
it's Greenwich Village, yeah.
I wanted to look up what it's like there since our friends live there. Compass.com says the village is a beloved mix of the best that New York has to offer, including the iconic Washington Square Park, which is the one that has like the Arc de Triomphe.
Oh, I see. Not the fountain that they dance in.
I think there is a fountain.
Huh.
Possibly. It's a big park. I don't know, in the middle of the city, and it features a diverse group of residents. All contribute to the energy of this lively yet well-behaved slice of Manhattan. Sounds nice.
Yeah.
Really.
Kind of ritzy, really, for
these 20-year-olds.
But it is fiction.
Yeah. Phoebe says the life sounds floopy. I don't know. She says something about floopy.
Yeah,
floopy. Looked up the definition for that.
There is nothing.
I know, but Urban Dictionary, anyone can write. It means confused in a state of inner turmoil. I think that is the correct definition. We go back to the hockey game, and Ross is getting into the game saying, "Get him! Get him!" Reminds me of when I watch baseball games, and it's like my team playing, and like one of our guys like hits the ball, and the guy is trying to catch it, and I'm like, drop it! Drop it! Drop it! That's what it felt like. And then...
Because you're both true fans.
Oh, yeah. And then the puck goes flying into the audience, and you gasped. The puck hits Ross in the nose.
Because I'm in the dental field, and it's like, did it break his teeth? What's going on?
I think it was mainly his nose. Yeah. This is a horrible fun fact, but IMDb trivia section explained that it's horrible. I think a few years later, I think 2003 is when they actually enforced netting.
Oh, netting, yeah.
Because a 13-year-old boy
really
died from getting hit in a similar...
Yeah.
But it
took something awful to happen.
But this was 1994. Like, I don't know. Yeah, horrible. We go back to Monica's apartment, and all the girls are just... You said, they're all drunk, but I mean, they're all just also depressed because they're all feeling like, I don't have a plan, like...
Oh, that's right, because those other girls, the promotion, the pregnancy...
And Rachel saying, like, what if it doesn't work out? How? You just drew on me, Mama.
Stabbed you.
Stabbed me. Yeah, but Rachel, at the end of the last scene with the Jack and Beanstalk thing, was like, what if it doesn't work out? And they're all like, I don't like this. I don't like this. Yeah, they're all drunk, but... Anyways, Monica asks Phoebe, do you have a plan? And Phoebe says, I don't even have a plan. That's great. It's really great. Pizza guy comes, and he's played by Sean Whalen. And I know him from Charlie's Angels, the very first scene of Charlie's Angels. Oh. But he's been in tons of stuff. He's just one of those guys that's just everywhere. You've seen him, for sure. The girls had originally ordered a fat-free crust with extra cheese.
I know. What do they get?
What do they get?
Like vegetables.
Yeah, and we always order. I like just a cheese pizza. I always order with extra cheese. So I never order fat-free crust. No. Hell no. But it turns out that they, instead of getting that pizza, they get George Stephanopoulos' pizza from across the street. So I guess he's living across the street. And at this time in the world, George Stephanopoulos was not yet on Good Morning America.
Yeah.
They describe him as a small Mediterranean guy with curiously intelligent good looks. He wears a stunning blue suit and a power tie. And then Rachel's like, who is this Mr. Snuffleupagus? And Phoebe's like, Big Bird's friend. They also explain that he's the White House advisor, Clinton's campaign guy, the one with the great hair, sexy smile, really cute butt. And Rachel's like, oh, hey, the little guy. Oh, I love him. Basically,
George Stephanopoulos, that's about
at the time was a heartthrob in the political world. I don't know. Great hair. His hair was so floofy though.
What?
Floofy. Floofy. That's not the word that they used. Floopy. Very different. And now I know him from being on like a new TV news correspondent.
Yeah.
And his wife always was on Oprah.
Oh yeah. Allie, she's so funny.
Yeah, but they're so excited that he's across the street. Yes. They have binoculars by the window. I cannot believe. Is that like a New York thing? Like,
yeah.
Kind of creepy.
I know. Big cities.
But this has changed their night. They're just really excited. They want to see him. And
the delivery guy says,
he's only in a towel.
That's right.
That's what he said. Oh no, he was just in a towel. He wasn't in a power suit.
Yeah, and then they run to the window.
Yeah. And then you asked, Phoebe, they're getting the pizza, and Phoebe says, "That's not for you, bitch." Because it's his girlfriend that we assume is across the street. We don't see him, but we see the girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's not for you, bitch. And then she's like, "Oh my god, I just called that woman bitch." And you were like, "You're allowed to say bitch."
Well, I know you can say it now on TV, but I didn't think
they could at that time
90s.
as well.
Wow.
I don't think the rules have changed. It's basically, it all depends on the situation. Like if someone was like cursing someone out in like an abusive way, but like this is Phoebe and afterward, I think it's all kind of. Then we go back to, well actually no, it's our first time going into the emergency room waiting room. Lobby. I don't know. The boys are walking in. Ross is holding his nose, bloody tissue, whatever. And the guys are like, we need help with my friend. What does Ross say? His face is dented.
Oh, yeah. My face. And she's on the phone doing some personal thing.
Yeah. The receptionist is played by Mary Pat Gleason. And I know her from the Cinderella Story. Okay. But she's in a ton of stuff, and she is so good in this episode.
Yeah, so good.
The dynamic between the boys versus her, really, really good. And just in general in this episode, I really like the dynamics between the guys. Like, they're just so crazy in this episode. But it's kind of like, I don't know, their night did not turn out the way they thought it would, that's for sure. Do you got anything? I
have dropped the towel.
We're not there yet. Okay, so the next scene, the girls are on the balcony now. They've moved outside to keep an eye on George Stephanopoulos' window. And it turns out the lights are out, and they're just like, they're having sex, and the girls are not too happy about that. And they're talking about like, what do you think George is like? Basically in bed. And Monica's like, I think he's shy. I think you have to draw him out, and then when you do, he's a preppy animal. And then
so funny.
I think that the DVD is so worth it because this next scene was cut, which is the girls saying, "What do you think our guys are like?"
That's
which
right.
I think, it's so
it was
needed.
Sweet, really, yeah.
Well, yeah, because they all had hope for the guys. Rachel thinks that Joey is like those toys outside of a grocery store where you put in the coin and they just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just knows what to do. I agree. I think that's kind of his thing. And then they show Joey at a vending machine he's like hitting it because he's trying to get something. I don't know. Then they talk about Chandler. I don't remember. I do know sensitive. Wait, I think it's.
I don't remember.
I think it's Monica. Monica says something good about Chandler, and then we see Chandler knocking on the window of the receptionist, and he has a bunch of rubber gloves sticking out.
Oh yeah, because he's
crazy.
He's crazy. Yeah.
He's crazy. Next up is Ross, and Rachel says that she thinks sometimes he can be really smooth, and then we see Ross holding his nose, his bloody nose with a drink of water, and he's trying to drink it, and then he just ends up splashing it.
I know. I thought at first he was trying to dampen
the cloth.
The cloth.
God, it's also gross.
I know, he's bleeding.
That his nose is bleeding. What I think is interesting or ironic is that there's a whole episode on Ross being bad at flirting.
Oh, really?
It's he can be really smooth sometimes. Really? He hasn't asked you on a date, even though the first episode he said, "Can I ask you out sometime, maybe?"
Oh, that's right.
We go back to the waiting room, where Ross is telling the story more about the atmosphere of the room. I remember the moonlight coming through the window, and I just love his voice during these little.
I know the way he's talking about his first experience, and
either Chandler or Joey says and then so what? What's the big deal? You had sex with her. For the next 7 years you had sex with her. And so I did the math. He's 26, he says in the first episode. 26 and divorced. 7 years subtracted from that is like 19. Yeah.
So his first experience was when he was about 19.
Yeah, so I don't know, that just seems like a long time for Chandler not to have known that his college roommate, best friend... Oh, basically we find out now that it was Ross's first time with Carol was also his first time ever having sex, and then they assume that means that he's only been with
one partner.
Yeah, one woman.
Good for him.
But the guys just are like, that's weird, right?
It's incredulous.
It's not weird. It's beautiful. We're just like, that's sweet. That's so nice. Whatever. Then we go back to the girls and they're just ragging on each other, telling each other secrets. Like Phoebe slept with one of Monica's boyfriends, like after they broke up, and like Rachel, something about a Valentine's put in your locker was from me and not from Steve or whatever.
Some guy.
And she loses her pillow, and supposedly that was like a blooper that they just kept in. The pillow falls down the balcony, whatever. They left it in. Then we go back to the waiting room, and Ross is finally out of surgery. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, and he has like a face on his nose, and Chandler, I think, calls him Hannibal, or Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, yeah.
Hannibal Lecter has that face mask thing. Creepy. And then Ross is like, where's my puck? I want the puck so we can leave now or whatever. And Joey's like, oh, the kid has it. And the kid's like, no, it's my puck now. Finders, keepers, losers, weepers. And the guys are like, you gotta do it, man. And then Ross starts going, I'm rubber, you're glue. And then he's just like, no, I can't do it. Whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you. And then they tug of war, like,
yeah,
give me the puck, give me the puck. It goes loose, it goes flying, and it hits the mean receptionist in the face. And Ross says, that was worth it, or that was fun. Oh, they were trying to say, like, that was a fun night, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was what he considered
fun.
Goal, yeah. So that's the end of the body. Then we have the tag scene back at Rachel and Monica's apartment, and the guys have just come home, and they're playing Twister. I wonder what time this is at night, though. Probably really late, and they're playing Twister, and the guy, I assume from downstairs, brings the pillow back up, which is funny. It's like, how does he know? Yeah, how does he know what apartment?
I know which apartment it came from or anything, but it was still classic.
Yeah.
I thought.
And then Chandler answers the phone, and it's the credit card people, and he's
calling for Rachel again.
Calling for Rachel, and she said, "Oh, will you take my place?" And then he's like, "Oh, sure." And Chandler goes, Rachel here.
But she meant take my place playing
Twister.
Yeah.
So she goes to talk to the credit card people, and she's like, "Yeah, I know, I'm good, I'm fine." And she said, "No, like I'm good." And she says, "I have magic beans." And she's looking at her friends because they're her.
Fine.
She goes, I'm fine. And that's when I get shivers and I get emotional because it's just like, she recognizes that she's going to be okay.
She's going to be okay. She's amongst good friends and like it's going to be all right.
Yeah, she has them, they have her. Like, they're going to take care of each other and they're going to have fun doing it.
It was a great ending, great beginning, really.
The whole, It's, the omnipotent and the final, and it's just like, it's a very sweet episode, I would say. There's sweetness in there. Yay!
Time for a score.
What do you think?
I went with a 6.
Okay.
It was between a 6 and a 7 because I thought it was probably the best episode so far, even though I really liked the first one. But I just think the first one was because I hadn't watched it.
It's the pilot.
Yeah, it was the pilot. I hadn't seen it in a long time, so it was just, I thought, so well done. So I went with a 6.
Okay, not good enough for a 7?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna say 7 just because.
It's your favorite episode.
It's just one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite.
Oh, okay.
Episodes. It just feels very good. Like it is just a great. Like
it
just feels full and there's heart in there, which that's my favorite thing for sure.
Really good.
Oh, we're done.
We're done.
I'm sad.
Bye, friends. What? After
Be nice to yourself. Be nice to those around you. We're all in it together.
Yes, it's
You're
nice
worthy. You're loved. Say something nice, Mom.
God bless you.
God bless you. God bless you.
Bye,
Bye, friends. Really, though, you can do it. We believe in you.
Put me on the spot.
God bless you.